Are you looking for a great budget-friendly computer monitor mount? Or are you looking for a great way to free up space on your desktop or tabletop with a monitor mount that provides multiple options for adjustable monitor placement? If so, then this is the video for you. Today, we're taking a look at the WALI adjustable monitor mount. I love this monitor mount because it's very affordable and it provides multiple options for how I adjust my computer monitor. So if you're ready, let's get started. All right, so today we're taking a look at the WALI heavy duty monitor arm for computer monitors. So let's go ahead and open the box and take a look inside. All right, so the first thing that we see is the owner's manual. And it looks like we've got the plate for the back of the monitor. We've got all of the hardware for the different types of screw sizes for the back of the monitor for mounting. Looks like we've got the base for the clamping to the actual desk or table that you're mounting it to. We've got one of the mounting bracket pieces. We've got one of the other arms for the mounting bracket. And then it comes with the other pieces of hardware and the Allen key so we can set everything up. All right, so this is the actual piece that we use to attach the arm of the mount to the actual desk or table surface, whatever we're gonna be using. So as you can see, this piece moves right here. And the way that it moves, or that's loose, is because inside of here, there's an actual bolt that has an Allen key on the top of it. And so all we do is use this Allen wrench key to tighten the bolt inside, and that'll actually make this clamp down to whatever it is we want to use. So as an example here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna mount it to this desktop, or this tabletop, and then we'll see how it actually gets solid. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so as you can see, this is now solid and attached to the top of the table. And so now let's go ahead and look and see how we attach the next piece of the arm for the mounting bracket. All right, so now we're gonna take this piece that's listed as part B in the instruction manual. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide this part of the open tubing onto that mount that we just mounted onto the table. But one thing you'll notice is if you look right here, there are two screws that can be tightened or loosened. And what these screws are gonna do is this is gonna allow you to tighten the mount so that it does not swivel like this. Or if you loosen them, you'll be able to adjust it to where you want it and then tighten those down. And they give us a little Allen key right here that we can use to tighten these bolts that comes with the kit. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, and what you'll notice is this does not rotate because we tighten those bolts down. But now if I go ahead and loosen them, what you're gonna see is that I just loosen them just a little bit, and now you can swivel this. So this part B is able to go onto the mount, and then we just tighten the screws when we know exactly where we want to place the actual mounting portion. All right, so this is the next piece of that mount. And so this pole right here is going to slide right into that piece that we just attached to the bottom bracket. But what you'll see on the other side is we've got this little piece right here with a hole through it. And so what we're gonna use that for is attaching the actual VESA mount plate, and this will mount to the back of the monitor. So as you can see, there's a groove right here, and that's where we're gonna slide this portion into. And as you can see, there's a hole that goes right through it. So when we put it together, there's a hole you can actually see through when the holes are lined up. But now one thing that's really nice about this is that we have an actual cutout for a hex nut right there. And so what was provided to us in the kit for this mount is an an M8 by 35 millimeter bolt, and then an M8 hex nut. And so what we're gonna do is, we're gonna take this hex nut and put it right in that cutout that has that hex cutout right there. So let's go ahead and put that in. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide this piece into that groove, and then we'll put the M8 bolt right through there and tighten it to that actual piece right there. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, and you can see that they went together pretty easily. I just hand tightened the screw a little bit. And now I'm just gonna use the same Allen key that I used to tighten down the bracket. I'm gonna go ahead and use that to tighten this bolt. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, as you can see, we went ahead and tightened down that M8 bolt. It went through the bottom a little bit and it did bite into that hex nut, so that's good. And so now what we can do is we can use this same Allen key to tighten or loosen this bolt. Otherwise, we can make it swivel left and right. And so if we wanted to put it into a certain position, we could tighten that bolt and that'll actually make sure that it stays in place. And then additionally, if we look on the other side, what you can see is there's another Allen key bolt right there. And that will allow us, when the monitor is mounted to the bracket, if we loosen this, this will allow us to tilt it up and down. And so as you can see, this mount has a great articulating ability, whether you would want it to go left and right or up and down. And then as you saw on the last piece, when you've got the mounted bracket, you can also move that left and right as well. So let's go ahead and see what the next piece looks like when it's attached. All right, so we've got this piece here, and this is what we just put together. I went ahead and changed my sweatshirt just because it's a little easier to see the black mount on a white background with my shirt, so sorry if that's a little confusing. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take this pole and just slide it right into the piece we already mounted. And as you can see, it just slides right in. And so now the last thing we need to do is just go ahead and tighten the screw in the front. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that same Allen key that they gave us earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and use that to tighten this bolt. And now what that does is that makes sure that this will not come off from this porch piece attached. And now what you'll see is we have the whole articulating mount. As you can see, it swivels left to right, and then this swivels as well. We've also got this part that the monitor we mounted to, which will go left and right, and it also goes up and down. And then one last thing we want to do is, right here, there's a little Allen key as well. So we're going to go ahead and use this Allen key, and if you turn it to the left or the right, it'll make it a little easier to be able to make this swivel as well. So now let's go ahead and mount the monitor to the actual bracket and see what it looks like. All right, so what I've done here is I took the stand off of the back of my monitor that was sitting on my desk. And as you can see, I put my sweatshirt down so there's padding between the table surface and the monitor so no damage happens to the screen. And if I tilt it up, we can see that these 4 bolts are what we're gonna use to mount the actual bracket here to the back of the monitor. And so with this bracket, the way that you're looking at it, this is how you want to make sure that it's mounted to the actual monitor. And these divots are what are going to sit the screws so it sits properly. So it'll look something like this once it's actually hanging. And so as you can see, the bolt patterns line up. And so now we just need to figure out which bolts to use. And so in this mounting bracket kit, it comes with quite a few different screws. And so what I'm going to do is just find the correct screws for this bracket, and then we'll see how we attach the mount to the back of the monitor. All right, so we found the 4 bolts that we need that came with the mounting bracket kit. And then one thing to mention is they did come with these 4 different spacers. So as you can see, what that does is you can put these down between the mount and the actual bracket. And what that does is if the screws are a little bit too long, it'll just raise the mount off of the actual monitor just about that much. The bolts actually are not too long for the monitor that I have, and so I'm just gonna be mounting the bracket directly to the monitor. And so all you have to do is just line up the holes and put these bolts in the back of the actual monitor holding the bracket on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, and one thing that I wanted to mention is you want to make sure that you don't tighten these down too much in the beginning. Number one, because you don't want to tighten one all the way down and have the mount be lifted up and you have to screw the bolt in harder. But also you want to be very careful not to make these screws go too deep into the holes because that can damage whatever's inside the monitor. And so what I did was I just went ahead and screwed them in just to the point of almost being tight. And now I'm going through and I'm just tightening them down just enough to make sure it's solid, but not so much that I'm risking damaging the internal components inside of the monitor. All right, so now I've got the monitor secured tightly to the bracket. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and put everything together and show you exactly what it looks like once we've got the computer monitor mounted. All right, so here we are on Amazon Prime. And at the time of this recording, I do not currently have an affiliate link, and I am not associated with the WALI brand for this computer monitor mount. But I'm just sharing this information because I like this product, so I want everyone to see it. And so as you can see, at the time of this recording, right now it looks like it's about $22.99 for this specific product. And as you can see, it handles about 33 pounds or about 17 inches to 49-inch monitors. Additionally, one cool thing about this monitor mount is that, as you can see right here, you can mount it to a desktop or tabletop horizontally, or you also have the option with the hardware provided to use that same bracket mounting portion, but you can see that you can mount it vertically as well. So that's another nice feature about this specific monitor mount. Additionally, as you can see right here, we have a gas spring that's inside of that particular arm of the mount. And so the nice thing about that is, right here, as you'll see in the video, you can actually use an Allen key to adjust this, and that adjusts the tension on the specific gas spring right here that allows you to hold the monitor in a specific spot or to be able to easily adjust it for however you want to adjust the mount. As you can see from this graphic, the full range of motion that's shown in this picture clearly demonstrates all of the different adjustability that you have for this mount. For example, right here in this particular portion and right here, you do have about 180-degree swiveling capability. And then also, right in this portion that's mounted to the actual monitor, you can see right here that you have up to about a 75-degree tilt capability. And also, with this monitor, you can swing it. So if you see right here, you have about a 90-degree swivel capability. So you can adjust about 90 degrees. And then lastly, one thing that's really cool is, if you look right here, you do have a 360-degree rotation capability. So if you want the screen or the monitor to be vertical or horizontal, you do have that option as well. So right here, as you can see, this is how you horizontally mount that actual monitor mount to a desktop or table, and they give you some measurements. But the cool thing is, this is that same arm right here that has that gas spring, and this shows you how you can adjust the height of the actual monitor as well. So if you're at a standing desk or a seated desk, you can adjust the height to be right exactly where you want it for your specific preference. And one more thing that I do like is the easy adjustment. So as you can see in this picture, right here is another spot where you can use the Allen key that's provided in the kit. And as you can see right here, it says if you turn it clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on how heavy your monitor is, that'll make sure that you use that gas spring to hold the actual weight of the monitor, and it allows you to adjust the height that we looked at, as well as the swiveling capabilities of the different hinge points for this computer monitor mount. All in all, for my purposes, this WALI computer monitor mount is a great piece of equipment. It's budget friendly, sturdy, and it allows me to adjust my monitor to my preferences with easy adjustment capabilities in a flash. I hope you got great value from this video, and be sure to check back for links to this item in the future, as well as other product reviews in the future on this channel.